And g'day everybody, it's me, the prodigal son, who is finally back. As you can see, growing the whiskers, put on some weight, and but been very busy. Good to see everyone out in the YouTube community, and I'll take my earpiece out because I don't need it, is doing well, some great builds going on, fantastic guys, love yous all. Um, Once again, shout out to my regular commentators and everything, which is Steve Mottram, the Rebels at Cloud 9. We've got John Moore. We've got Simon Kemp, Beasley, and Model Art 366. Sorry, Michael. Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Magoo. Good videos there. Panzermeister. Crazy as normal, and another guy that is not a subscriber of mine, but I like his channel, is Harry Houdini, a fellow Australian, and does some fantastic stuff with some warships and bits and pieces. And another big special shout out to an older generation of model builders who does a fantastic job. Is a guy, and I hope you go and check his channel out. You subscribe to me, you probably already are. Is Mr Frankie Day at Frankie Day's Models. So salute you, fantastic work, Frank. You have, if I'm modelling as well as what you are, mate. When I get to your seniority, and also being a veteran, God bless you. I know you've had a rough time with a couple of things, mate, but yeah, I know things will get better for you, mate, and I know with our little YouTube community and channel, we'll all help you out the best we can. So what's been going on? He says, what's been going on? Enough the chit chat, blah blah blah. Well, gee, I actually got something finished for a group build that I entered a fair while ago, and it's on my Facebook page, Matt Hill Scar Models. I'll try to get the link below in the comments, but I'm not that talented when it comes to those sort of things. But what I did get finished, and I'll show you also, bear with me. I've got the glow, see the haircut and everything, so yeah, if it blinds you, don't panic. But a little while ago I entered a group build called the Foreign Service Group Build, which I started a Australian Mirage. I painted that in a silver to try to get the silver finish on the aeroplane. That didn't come out too bad, but I had a really bad reaction with the paint, and some polyscale decal solution came out bloody horrible. So it's on the shelf for doom, and I'll probably never get round to doing it, to tell you the truth, because I sort of lost interest in the kit. It was the Italeri boxing of the old Eschi Mirage 3C, and it wasn't very good, but one day I might get bored or something and whack some camo over it. I have got another original issue Eschi kit with some microscale RAAF markings for it, but in the camo, not the natural metal finish. But what I did do, which I have posted on my link, it was for Fargo Skull Models Foreign Service Group Build, which ended about bloody 6 months ago. But I've been busy with work and everything, and I finally made an effort. So I built this here, which is the it's a Hasegawa 148 scale BF 109 G14. It's in the finished markings. It's the post-war variant. In the post-war finish colours, just on a little simple base that I had. I modified a dragon Luftwaffe figure out of the Battle of Britain Day set. Just modify the uniform, the hat, and a few things to make it into a finished pilot, and it's finished. This kit, the old Hassie Mr. Smiths are still quite a good kit. The photos are up, as I said, on my Facebook. I'm just holding it here like a dork. But the thing I found with it is, with most of the old Hassie stuff, is the decals let them down. I had a bit of trouble with these decals. A couple of them fell to pieces. I had to touch them up with a bit of paint. which didn't cut too bad. There was a 9 on the side there, the yellow 9, which fell to pieces, but I sort of got it fixed up and it sort of mixes in with the weathering. But thank you, Fargo Scar Models. It was a great group build. I enjoyed everybody's entries. There was some really nice stuff there, and look, I really enjoyed it. So that was my entry. I'll put them up on your Facebook page. I know it's late, but I've completed it. So, and if you see one of these finished aircraft, have a crack at building something. Have a crack at building a Messerschmitt without a swastika on it. Even though I've got nothing against putting the swastika on because it's historically correct, but just in the different markings. The Airfix one in the Japanese markings, which I have got somewhere in the stash. I wouldn't mind doing that. So, yeah. What else have I been working on? I've been working on the group 50th anniversary group build Harrier update by Mr. Martin Lamont. My entries on his Facebook page. This is the old. I'm building 2 kits. I'm building the old. This is the old Airfix. Wait, upside down, Miss Jane. This is the old Airfix Harrier GR3. I had to read that because I didn't know what it was because it's back to front on the screen when I'm looking at it. But I'm building this one as part of a 2 aircraft display. And if I ever get around to finishing it in time, which I hope, I'm trying my best this time, Martin. This one is actually going to be landing, coming down to land on a part of a deck representation of the Atlantic Conveyor, which was a converted cargo ship during they loaded these Harriers on during the Falklands War. Unfortunately, it got hit by a Argentine Exocet missile, caught fire, burnt, loss of life, very sad. I'd like to just build this as a bit of a tribute too for the people who lost their lives. But I've been working on this. Now, it came very, very close to me binning it. The fit issues turned out to be pretty ordinary, even though this is a fairly new issue of an old kit. Had a little bit of warp in it, and then the fit parts weren't too good. So what I've actually done now, I don't know, you can probably see it, but the panel lines have all been rescribed. So I've rescribed the panel lines. I'm just going around now, sanding it up, just fitting a few fit issues, and hopefully get a shot of primer on it and work out how I'm going to actually display it off the coming to land on the carrier, on the deck, on the landing pad, on the Atlantic Conveyor, and just for something different. So there's not much detail in the cockpit. Of course, just going to be closed up. I'm just going to put the seat and paint the pilot up, which is pretty unusual for me because I probably haven't put a pilot in an aircraft since I was probably 6. I sort of never liked it because there's no sort of realistic way of representing an aircraft in flight, because it is a static model. It's not actually a flying model, but I thought I might get away with the Harrier landing on the Atlantic Conveyor deck, just because it's not actually moving in a direction. It's sort of coming in to land that way. So I'm getting that one done, and the other kit that will go with it is the newer tool, Airfix Harrier kit, the Hawker Siddeley GR3 in the new tool, and what a fantastic little kit this one is. But in saying that, it's great detail, well, beautiful, out of the box, you can build it beautiful, but there's a few things that Airfix that does let this kit down. For instance, I think the wheels out of this old 70s model kit, the actual wheel detail, strangely enough, is better than what's in the Airfix kit. It just seems, and I'm going to take a quote from Flory Models here, soft. Exactly, soft. So, Mr Airfix, harden up a bit. The detail is soft. Not having a dig at Flory Models, love your channel, mate. But yeah, I just find that, you know, you get this kit, everything looks really, really good, and then you looking at a detail and think, ooh, yeah, it just looks like it's just soft. I'm saying soft a lot. So, the other thing I've been working on, it was another group build hosted by Sir John at John Moore's scale models, I think, John, top to bottom tier. He had the Operation Torch group build. See, that's how long ago it was. I'd nearly forgotten what the name of the group build was. I've been working on that still, John. It took me a little while to... I've got some figures for an aircraft for it, which is the old SMER 150th, 148 scale SMER Mackie MC200 day fighter, which I'll just pull it out of here and show you my progress so far. This was a bit of a challenge as well. I scratch built so far. I've scratch built the cockpit wheel wells, landing gear, putting on a little bit of a base, got the pine trees happening there. Should have this finished soon. I've just got to now give it a dull coat, a little bit of a weather, a bit of a dusting, put the couple of Italiano figures around the aircraft, and I'll have a final review of that one too, John. The old SMER kit, I thought it was going to be a nice easy one as part 2, because my Spitfire I had originally built for it actually got squashed by a bottle of Future. I had it in a bit of a perilous position, and I bumped it and it fell over and landed on my Spitfire and broke it to like 100 pieces. And it was like, yeah, I couldn't sort of repair it. It just would have been stripped back, and then I would have lost a lot of detail. So I decided I'd pull the SMER kit out. It was going to be my second entry, and then I was going with it, and I've re-scribed all the panel lines on this one too, and I've gone a bit silly, and it took me a little while. And then I couldn't find on the internet here in Australia anyone that's had any Second World War Italian pilots or ground crew. So I actually got these from France, which took ages. But now I've got everything I can get stuck back into to finish that one. I had a little bit of a build myself too. I'm still tinkering around on the Ravel 110 Night Fighter variant, 148 scale Ravel kit, Ravel Germany. The first thing you do when you get a Ravel Germany kit, especially if it's an older one, sort of early 2000s, whatever, get the decals and go, because they're rubbish. Ravel, you are rubbish. Your decals are anyway. How terrible. So, taking into account now when you're buying a Ravel kit, make sure you take into some of the older versions, buy an aftermarket set of decals, or take the punt, could be the word. Purchases. Not so much in purchases. Got the Harrier, bought some ground crew, and also after watching Frank Day's channel, a couple of ship kits. So I've got a 350th HMS Dreadnought, always loved it, want to build it. I got the Indianapolis from Dragon and 1/350th. Finally got some photo etch for my Tamiya 1/350th Tirpitz and a wooden deck. So it was deck. You got dirty minds, you buggers. And so hopefully I'll have a bit of inbox review. I've probably been 100 inbox reviews done before on the Tamiya 1/350th Tirpitz. It's been around for a while. Still a good kit. Fast been surpassed now by Dragon and Ravel. Done a far superior moulding and everything, but hopefully it'll just be a nice little build with the net set. It'll look good. Been working on a old, my mum bought it for me when it originally came out years and years ago, was the Ark Royal and the Tribal Class Destroyer. Been working on that too, slowly, so I'm going to have my go on the first, my first sort of water effects on a base. I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels for that, and I've also got this one with the Australian decals in it. This is the 1/350th Zulu class destroyer, Zulu 1941. Yeah, this one comes with the RAN decals. To anyone who buys this kit and it's sealed up, and it's got the RAN decals in it. Just be very careful when you open the boxes. The first thing that comes out for some reason, they must have gone, oh yeah, we'll put Australian decals in it. First thing you do when you open the boxes, and I nearly lost mine in the hobby because I undid it at the hobby shop, is the decals fall out on the ground, and they're only a tiny little decal sheet, and so just be careful you don't lose them. Beautiful little kit, has a nice little bit of etch. So I'm really looking forward to having a crack at this one too. So building a couple of ships now that I've got a little bit more room in my little hidey hole here to get some work done. So that's my long lost update. Things have been going well. Work's been busy for me, but starting to slow off a little bit now. So I've got some time to back into a little bit of model building. Got a little bit of spray booth now. Bought a new airbrush to buy. I bought a, what did I buy? Harder to steam back. It's probably better than my old shaky hands will do. Yeah, I've got a little spray booth now. So trying to set things up, improve the lighting in this room, building a few more storage areas, and got a video camera. You can't see it, but it's off screen now. This is still done on the good old phone camera, but I did buy myself a stand and a video camera. Next upgrade is laptops to produce something a little bit more professional. I don't go over the top. There's plenty of professional channels out there. Bloody jeez, you want to watch an Aussie bloke ramble on and do good models, go to Harry Houdini or Van Diemen scale models or something like that, mate. I'm just doing this for a bit of fun, guys. You know, it's just my online hobby shop, not hobby shop but hobby club. So get to meet people across the world, watch your videos, enjoy your talent, etc. The other thing, there's a Simon Kemp is running in the 1/35th scale diorama, running a 12-month group build, railway group build. So it's anything to do with railways. Doesn't have to be a train. It can be a train track with a donkey walking over it. Well, if you wanted to, but as long as it's got some sort of form of railway in it. Also, Moddy. I don't know how long we've got left in the Operation Desert Storm group build. I'll have to do something. Abrams come to a standstill, so I might have to do something a wee bit smaller. Because at this stage, I've sort of overcommitted myself with group builds in the past, which I'm not going to make the mistake. And if I don't join a group build these days, guys, don't. It's not because I'm not interested in it. I'll follow it, but I'm just not going to commit myself to 200,000 group builds on YouTube. It just gets a little bit too much, and I feel like I'm letting people down when I enter, and I can't finish things off due to work commitments, etc. But that's about it, guys. We've got some new products. I'm trying some new products. I've finally got the ultimate washers. We've finally got in Australia the ultimate some sanding sticks, which I have been using on the Harrier. Must say, bloody good stuff. And I know people use the little El Cheapy ones from the chemist, and I was probably a tight ass, and I've said it before. Yeah, you do pay what you get for in some things, and these are bloody good. I bought these and the thinny, sticky things, whatever they're called. The other thing I bought was, I've been using them on the Harrier, are these little RB Productions scribe, well, they're files, they're scribing files, and you for scribing come in different shapes, and you just move them backwards and forwards like a file, and it'll cut in or replace a damaged seam line. They're bloody good too for what they are. Nice reasonable price. Experimenting, I got my first ever 2 jars of MIG Jamesh stuff. I haven't used this washable camo yet, white winter whitewash. I have used this, brushed it onto a couple of gun barrels, etc. The MIG gunmetal. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's done. It's good. Yeah, got that, and I'm trying some, and you probably say, geez, Matt, you only need to use hairspray. But I tried while I got some of this chipping effects stuff I'll get. I know it's probably the same as hairspray, I suppose, hairspray technique. And my hobby shop just got some of this Vallejo weathering effects. So I've got some exhaust stains which I used on my Finish 148 scale Mr Smith. Worked good. Doesn't like going for an airbrush though. Don't try to put it through an airbrush because it just seemed to go all gluggy. What else have I tried? I've tried Humbrol Clear. It's rubbish. I've tried Humbrol Decalfix. Rubbish. I have tried. What else have I tried? This new. I haven't tried yet, but I've got some Humbrol dark green wash because I wanted to do a British or American tank and olive drab, and I thought that might be alright. So hopefully that's not rubbish. There's a few little products I'm treat myself to. Not so many kits now. Just a few things. Said got the new airbrush. Bought some quick releases. So I'm using a Chinese Chiawata. I'm using my little Chinese Iwata copy. Been a good airbrush actually for the $12 I paid for it. Get some really good results out of it. But I did buy the harder and stem back, and then I bought some adapters for an old Badger double action brush I had as well. So I can run some airbrushes now. Not relying on the one brush all the time. So I'm trying to experiment with some brushes for different paints and primers and clear coats. So I'm sort of trying to get a bit of finish with that. But yeah, I'm glad everyone's still there. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. You've had enough of me rambling on now for 20 minutes. You're probably thinking to yourself, where's the Valium? But it's good to get back on YouTube again now. Check out Martin Lamont's 50th anniversary Harrier group build. Check out Simon Kemp's rail group build. And check out Mr Frankie Day's channel at Frankie Day Models. Excellent. He's doing a blue jacket. The USS Ward, the American destroyer, fired the first shot in anger for the Americans at Pearl Harbor. Bloody good job, Frank. You are a legend. But until then, guys, this is Matty. Be good. Model hard. And don't forget, you can get a good result out of an old kit. Sound like Jeremy Clarkson. Yes.